welcome back to 5 Minute Thoughts. Today is pressure. So how often do we put immense pressure on ourselves about the things that we haven't done rather than focusing on all the wonderful things that we have done? So you might have a list of things that you want to do and you might have ticked off a few of those. I mean, getting out of bed in the morning can be a real struggle if you're having a bad day. So that's something in itself to be proud of initially. I think we need to start giving ourselves more credit for what we do rather than what we haven't done. Trying to keep up constantly with people around us, friends or parents or work colleagues or other people at the school gate or in your office, wherever it is for you. Just the moment you start comparing yourself to someone else, you start planting seeds of doubt and disengaging in your own worth and what you've done. Now, everybody's journey is completely different to the next person. Nobody knows what that person's gone through that morning or that week, and seeing them show up for themselves each and every day and doing what they can is a huge achievement. I have very often beaten myself up for not being where I think I should be. Now, should is a word I'm trying to use less and less of, because the moment that word is in my sentence, I feel like I'm putting that pressure on of all the things that I feel should have been ticked off. Now, we can only do what we can do with where we are in each and every day. And I do teach mindfulness. This specific channel isn't focused solely on that. It's just really about becoming comfortable to be who you are and just sharing different bits and pieces that I found useful, but being present in day-to-day life rather than being caught up in where we feel we must get to or those things that we might have wanted to have done differently. It doesn't really do anything for us other than just pile on that pressure, pile on the thoughts of sort of judgment really about what you haven't done. And the more and more we focus on the things that we have done and what we are doing, it just gives way to a lighter way of living and a more positive outlook. I mean, you might have had something really challenging going on in your life, and also the way that we grow up and the sort of patterns that we get into. It's really difficult sometimes to move through situations that we face. Until we give ourselves a bit of time and remove the pressure, we can all only move forward with where we are. And I just think I've noticed sort of growing up, I did get into anxious cycles and patterns, and largely I would suppress how I was feeling because I was too embarrassed to share that. I didn't want people to know that I was worried because I felt it was weakness. I didn't want anyone to know that I was scared or worried because I wanted to show strength. And quite often when you're suppressing all of that down, it only stays there anyway, and eventually it has to come to the surface. So by removing those pressures from yourself and just acknowledging where you are, noticing what the good things that have happened in your day, even if that is simply getting out of bed and making a cup of tea, that shows a lot of strength if you're having a bad day. And then on other days you might be able to accomplish so much more, but don't beat yourself up for what you haven't done, and don't compare yourself to someone else and what they're doing, because their journey isn't yours and their story isn't yours either. So really try and show some compassion to yourself if you can. It's so important to just connect with you and who you are and what means something to you, because by doing that you just naturally build so much more resilience and confidence, and it just gives you so much freedom. So take a moment today just to celebrate the things that you have done and just remove that pressure from yourself.